with zero coding experience, which is what I do. I also offer app building services, and it's just really great. You can do absolutely anything with AI, and you just need to always, very important, always be up to date on the latest developments because it's changing every single day.
Yeah, Mike, there's two things that I immediately want to jump into with regards to AI cold calling, because I know that's going to perk a lot of listeners' ears up. And the first thing is, obviously, so many people avoid cold calling, not because they don't believe that it's a valid form of marketing, but because they don't want to face the constant rejection. And I think it's so brilliant that with AI handling the cold calling portion, we don't have to face that rejection. And in fact, I would imagine, I'd love for you to take us behind the scenes, I would imagine you get back a treasure trove of data. So that's the first thing I want to hear from you about, is the nature of AI cold calling. And then the second thing that I really want to wrap in, because it has to do with the first, is a lot of people will think, who wants to hear from a cold caller, let alone who wants to hear from an AI cold caller? Like, it can't possibly be personalized to that level, which is of course one of the strengths of AI. So talk to us about that. Paint that picture of what cold calling via AI actually looks like.
Well, actually, right now, AI cold calling sounds extremely and utterly natural, and that is the key unique selling proposition of it. Because we've always had robocalls and Siri and all these robotic sounded AI, but right now it actually sounds natural, and there's even an option to clone your own voice. So if you're on the call for 2-3 minutes with a prospect, they're not going to realize it's AI. And in fact, the only thing that could make them realize it's AI is not the sound. It's actually sometimes the AI messes up and asks the same question twice. But that becomes a prompting issue. So you need to be an expert in prompt engineering and to tweak the agent and refine it and stress test it as much as possible. But absolutely, I mean, there are a lot of businesses right now who cold call leads, and not just real estate companies or insurance companies. A lot of businesses, unconventional niches, still require cold calling. And so when they hear our offer about an AI cold calling agent and they hear the sample, I send them a voice sample, and they just can't resist it. It sounds so natural. And that's actually why I jumped into this field, because when I first heard an AI voice agent in action, I couldn't believe myself. And I'm not really someone to be impressed by tech stuff, but when I heard that, I was genuinely impressed. And so, yeah, as you said about the data, I mean, we get a lot of data. Like I experienced about hundreds of thousands of cold calls right now, and pickup rates vary, but less than 0.5% of the calls drop off because they realize it's an AI. It's that efficient. And it also increases your booking rate drastically because the AI never stops following up. And that's a very important part of it. The AI will not settle for a not picked up. The AI needs a yes or a no. Or if it gets blocked, that's a third option. But it needs an answer. So if you keep calling them, of course, in a reasonable time frame, you're going to get higher answers, response rate, more bookings, and then